The atmosphere in the circuit of the Americas paddock turned tense after Lewis Hamilton made an unexpected comment. Instead of celebrating his strong finish with Ferrari, he made a statement that left everyone, including his top engineer, Ricardo Adami, speechless. Hamilton's statement shook Ferrari and sparked widespread speculation about the future direction of their car development. What exactly did Hamilton say to leave Ferrari engineers so confused? Let's discuss it. Hamilton finished fourth at the 2025 United States Grand Prix, a seemingly ordinary result. But it holds significant meaning for Ferrari and the seven-time world champion's personal journey. If someone had told Hamilton on Friday that he would finish fourth, he probably wouldn't have believed it. Ferrari arrived in Austin without any significant updates, while Red Bull and McLaren brought data from previous sprints. However, on Sunday afternoon, Ferrari performed even stronger than expected. Charles Leclerc finished third, and Hamilton finished just 10 seconds behind him. It's a great result for the team. We got important points, even ahead of Mercedes and McLaren, Hamilton said optimistically. I wanted more, of course, but we were on the right track. The Austin race showcased the three dominant philosophies of modern Formula One: Red Bull, with its perfect system, Ferrari, with its evolving process, and McLaren, which lives and dies by its qualifying performance. As usual, Max Verstappen was in a world of his own. His RB21 ran smoothly, lap after lap, as if he were running a qualifying simulation. However, the spotlight was on the red car behind him, the Ferrari SF25, which was beginning to demonstrate consistency. Charles Leclerc started on soft tyres, and Hamilton started on mediums. For the first 5 laps, the two drivers traded positions, with Leclerc just a tenth of a second ahead. After the first pit stop, however, Hamilton emerged 10 seconds behind Leclerc, a gap that became symbolic of Ferrari's entire weekend. It wasn't by mistake. Red Bull had sprint data, but Ferrari didn't. Without that data, Ferrari lost the invisible map that determines the best strategy on race day, including tyre warm-up rates and changes in track temperature per sector. Fred Vasseur opted for a bold strategy, splitting the two drivers' paths. Leclerc was on soft tyres and Hamilton was on medium tyres. The result? Enough for a podium finish, but not enough to challenge Verstappen. Despite the loss, however, Ferrari found something more important: a clear direction. After the race, Ricardo Adami, Hamilton's race engineer, said, "We knew we didn't have all the data that Red Bull had, but we used what we had with incredible discipline. Lewis approached the race like an engineer. He knew when to push and when to conserve his tyres. That kept us competitive, even without major upgrades." Fourth place may not be ideal, but Hamilton's approach to achieving it tells a different story. He had a flawed start, got caught in traffic, and lost ground to Oscar Piastri and Leclerc. In Formula One's era of low tyre degradation and the rapidly developing DRS trend, a small mistake in the first corner can ruin an entire race. But Hamilton remained calm. He used every lap to understand the limits of the SF25, pushed without breaking his rhythm, and finished the race at a consistent pace rivaling Leclerc's. Ferrari now refers to Lewis's second mode, a phase in which he withdraws from his emotions and focuses on learning. There was no shouting or complaining over the radio, just observation. After the race, he immediately reviewed the delta to the pit stop, the minimum corner speed, and the tyre temperatures at each stint. For Hamilton, every race was a laboratory. He knew Ferrari wasn't perfect, but for the first time since his arrival, the team was starting to get into his rhythm. Adami added, "With Lewis, every session feels like a data test. He doesn't just want to know what happened, he wants to know why it happened. He taught us how to think like world champions, even when we haven't won." But within Ferrari, a new dynamic was slowly heating up and emerging. Two drivers with different philosophies were forming two polar opposites. Leclerc relied on instinct and aggression. He preferred a car with a responsive rear end that could be steered quickly through turns. Hamilton, on the other hand, relied on precision and a stable front end. His style demanded a balanced, easy-to-manage car. The SF25 attempted to combine the two styles, but the result was an unsatisfactory compromise. Hamilton was faster in the slow sectors, and Leclerc was superior in the fast ones. However, the car didn't truly belong to either of them. After the race, Leclerc admitted, "I wasn't at one with the car this weekend." For Leclerc, that simple statement meant a lot. He had lost his rhythm, and at Ferrari, rhythm is paramount. Meanwhile, McLaren was caught in a self-created paradox. Their car was highly efficient in clean air, but lost significant time behind other cars. Lando Norris finished 6th, 23 seconds behind Verstappen, a gap that suggested their qualifying pace alone wasn't enough. McLaren boss Andrea Stella was aware of the threat. The MCL39 car can be fast on Saturday, but loses its edge on Sunday. "If we don't start at the front, we can't win," Norris said simply. It was a diagnosis, not an excuse. For Ferrari, the result in Austin isn't about 4th place or a podium. It's about transformation. Hamilton is slowly changing Maranello's culture from a team that once thrived on passion and emotion to a disciplined, data-driven organisation. Mechanics say that every session with him feels like an engineering class. The simulator is now tuned to his telemetry first, and then compared to Leclerc's. For the first time, Ferrari has a structure that functions like Red Bull's, with a rapid feedback loop and data-driven decisions instead of intuition. "He's not just a driver," one Ferrari engineer told Italian media. "He's rebuilding Ferrari from within, not just on the track, but also in the boardroom and behind the scenes, where the team's true direction is determined." Ricardo Adami emphasised this major change. Now, there are no more emotional decisions. Every discussion is based on data, logic, and the driver's feelings while driving. No more ego, no more drama. This is a calmer, more modern, and more mature Ferrari. All of that comes from Lewis's influence. He brings a world champion mentality and a contagious calmness throughout the team. 5 races remain: Mexico, Las Vegas, Qatar, and the final 2 in the Middle East. Each race presents a different challenge, from stifling altitudes to extreme temperatures that test the limits of both man and machine. For Lewis Hamilton, each race is part of a long process of shaping Ferrari into a machine that is not only fast, but also adaptive and visionary, not just a chance to finish on the podium. He knows speed can be achieved, but strategic intelligence can only come from a new culture, one he is currently instilling at Maranello. To beat Red Bull, Ferrari must be not only faster, but also calmer, more disciplined, and more forward-thinking. Hamilton wants a Ferrari that thinks like an engineer, moves like a team, and attacks like a world champion. As he said in a quiet but firm voice after the Austin Grand Prix, "We haven't updated the car, but we can still fight." It's not a compliment, it's a warning. The sentence echoed throughout the paddock, signalling that the real battle was no longer about speed on the track, but about who could adapt more quickly to the future. Lewis Hamilton hasn't won a race with Ferrari yet. One thing is certain though, he's reshaping the way Ferrari thinks. Is Ferrari undergoing a quiet revolution under his leadership? Share your thoughts below.